Real video, I hope. Well, hi everybody. Oh Lord. My mind know when I was a little girl, sometimes my mom used to say if I had a brain I'd take it out and play with it. That's close to child abuse, but at that time it was the norm. But I wasn't going for that. I deleted a lot of my emails. I had about 15 people requesting readings. Well, I had more than that, and I had gone through and returned emails to a lot of them, about half of them, and then I don't remember how many I had left, 12 or 13 at least, and I was moving them over to my contacts and trying to actually clean everything up and make it easier, and I ended up deleting about 15 emails of people asking for readings. So if you haven't already heard back from me, because I got back to everybody I didn't delete, please send that email again. I'm so sorry. And when you do, send your phone number, and that way I can text you or call you and maybe just set it up right as soon as I get the email. It's a lot easier if I have your phone number, and I never have asked people for their phone numbers, but I'm going to start. And that's at lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. And I'm so sorry if you're one that I deleted your email. I tell you, somebody my age shouldn't even be near a computer, especially when I'm trying to make everything work better. My daughter just taught me how to put everybody in my contacts list, and I was so proud of myself. Maybe. So if you do email me for a reading, put your phone number in there, and it'll make it a lot easier for me to have to get a hold of you right away, to text you and or whatever. That's what I usually do anyway, is text people back. But anyway, I started to do this video 2 hours ago. I started to do it 3 hours ago, and I had a new microphone. I'm going to start talking louder because I'm not using my new microphone. And the other night, through FaceTime, the guy that helps me with my videos and stuff showed me how to work it. I thought I was totally exhausted. I called him about something else, totally, to ask him a question, and when he found out I had it in the mail, he wanted me to open them up. It was already like 10 or 10:30 at night, and take them out of the boxes and assemble it and all that stuff. Then we tried it out, and then I wrote down 2 instructions on how to use it, which it looked like it was simple, but I stood here for 2 hours tonight trying to get some sound to come across it, and none would, and I could have swore some came through it the other night. And he's so intelligent, and he told me that he thought the mic didn't fit in there, so maybe none of it did. Maybe I didn't even have the mic plugged in far enough, and it was just the mic off the iPad that was. But it sounded better than usual, so maybe I should be just hollering at my iPad instead of using this little mic I got. I don't know. Don't know any answers to this, except I know I did want a mixer so I could, when I go on with other people, I could use a microphone and still, I wanted one where I could still plug, the type of mixer I wanted was one that I could plug a microphone into, and then also, maybe it's not even called a mixer, but Becca told me once that they do make little boxes that you can plug a microphone into and still charge your video from there too. I don't know. I don't know anything about electronics, but so I'm going to cut part of this out so I don't bore you to death. But I had a couple people writing asking me questions. And there's so much stuff going on. I mean, it's just so quick, and we're not going to quit hearing about the carnival barker for a long time. Sideshow Donnie. But I had people asking me questions about him. But you know what fascinated me the whole last week, and I think it was about a week ago the first time I seen him on, maybe not that long. You know how the news goes anymore. It just goes. Oh, and by the way, thank all you guys that are watching. Thank you. And I also had a list somewhere, but I just went through and got rid of all my old books and everything. So from now on, I promised you I'll be more organized. But a couple of people sent me donations, and I wanted to thank them very much and let you know how much I appreciate it. And so anyway, the person that I know this sounds silly with everything going on, but the one that blew me away the most was James Comey. We've all had mixed feelings, especially if we were Hillary lovers at one time. I'm not sure I still would be, but let's not go there. We're not going to start pushing buttons. Was so angry. We knew he was a Republican, and from what I kind of understood, about 70% of most of the people in the FBI are Republicans. Or were that, whatever. It had a lot of you couldn't call them conservative because they've never been conservative. That would be a joke. But anyway, a lot of people in the FBI, I'm sure, were Republicans. And they didn't want a woman in there either. But so, I always wondered if he came out and, pulled out little stunts on purpose, because it was something that was, it was not the regular MO. It was totally different. That was before Hillary. Here we're going way back. But anyway, he's been running around to all the shows this last week. In fact, I've got it written here, James Comey, WTF. But Biden should pardon Trump. Biden should pardon Trump. This is what James Comey's been saying. To make his base happy? When did it get Biden's job to make a bunch of Confederate traitors happy? Because he was talking like he should, just pardon Trump and everything that happened to insurrection. I guess was the nicest thing you could call it, but that wasn't what it was. It was a straight Confederate takeover, trying to take over and throw out all the black votes. But anyway, so it made me wonder, well, what planet is he on? And why do we need to make these people happy? And it also made me wonder, just pop into my mind, well, how do you cooperate or play patty cakes with people, whether it's in the Senate or the House, when they don't even have a platform? All their platform is to obstruct. That's what it's always been. So how do you reach across the aisle to people like that? I don't understand it. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. I don't know. But another thing that kind of made me wonder, what was the FBI up to? Is there something that Comey's afraid to come out if they start investigating Trump and the administration and what was going on before and after? Was he worried about something that might come out? Obviously, there was a lot of Confederate people wanting Trump in there ahead of time. And a lot of it came from law enforcement. So anyway, that's just we all have our wonders, and that was my wonder of the week, is what the fuck, excuse me, what the frap was he thinking? I'll cut that out. Like I said, why should Biden, for 1 second, ever want to pardon Trump or all the people that went in there and to kill the vice president and stuff? It doesn't even make any sense. And besides that, it's not his place to get involved in that type of politics. And so, and then I had another lady that always watches. Her name's Patricia Ray, I think, and she always watches my. That is her name. Got another piece of paper here. She always watches my video, and she wanted to know why Trump didn't pardon himself or his kids. And I know we all heard Glenn Kushner talk about pocket pardons. So maybe he did and nobody knows about it, or maybe he didn't. Who? I really think that if had he have, it would have leaked out. I don't think he had that many loyalists around him at the end that wouldn't have let that leak out if had he have done it. So I really think that he didn't, because it could have came back and bit him in the ass. But anyway, so maybe we could read on that tonight. The main reason I came on, oh yeah, and Sideshow, the carnival barker, he's already grifting for his presidential library, and you know, most people got a couple 100,000, or I don't know what it was, but it wasn't. But he wants anyway. He wants $2 billion for his, and that's pretty good for a president that can't read, and half the people that would be following him around aren't interested in reading anyway. So anyway, I can't imagine what they'd put in a Trump library. And he's, like I said, he's already grifting. The grift is back on. He already got as much money as he could out of him for trying to stop the election, and now he's going to try to do it for the library, it looks like. So oh, one more. Rand Paul. He's already complaining about unity. And like I said, you can't have unity with people that are just obstructive and have no platform. So it's just all a show. It's all a dog and pony show, and it's hard to watch. And like I said, I like the Majority Report. And a lot of you know I like TYT. That doesn't mean you have to agree, but there's nobody like Anna Kasparian for knowing the truth and what's really going on. I love to watch that lady. She's the Rachel Maddow of I guess you'd call it YouTube news. She's great. Anyway, oh gee, I don't even have any cards out, but at least I know where they're at. Like I said, I spent the whole day organizing stuff. So let me get out a couple of decks of cards here, and we'll see what we I can smell that frankincense coming out there. It smells so good. So, my first question was James Comey. I am interested in what in the hell is going through that man's head. Is he worried? Is he scared? Is he just trying to promote his book? Is he trying to stir more shit than he stirred before? What in the hell's going on in that? Probably entitled Republican mind of his. I have a feeling he's been rich all his life. I can tell just I bet he looks down on all the little people, and maybe I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. That's just the feeling he gives me. So why would he think that Biden should just pardon everybody that went into the... I don't remember if it was everybody that went in the Capitol or Trump. I think he was talking, I think it was Trump about the impeachment he was talking about. Who knows, because the news changes so quick. But he was thinking that Biden should do pardons, and I was pretty sure it was so they didn't have to have an impeachment trial. So anyway, instead of asking about the trial or anything, what's going on with James Comey? Maybe he's just trying to get attention to sell more of his books. I like to read, but in fact, I'm reading Obama's book. I've been reading it for a long time. I like it because it's boring and I follow it. I can go to sleep and not stay up all night reading. I've been reading it for quite a while. I guess it's over 700 pages. I don't know. I've been using my Kindle. That's what I was trying to think of. So I have a little paper white Kindle, and that's what I read when I go to bed at night. And I don't like anything too exciting, or I'll stay up all night reading, because I love to read, so no matter how exhausted I am. So Obama's books worked pretty good. And I guess he did try, and you got to figure he was pretty damn young when he went in there. He's only 45. He'd only been in the Senate, not too long, I think, in there. I mean, he'd been in the Senate in Illinois. But anyway, he did a pretty good job comparatively, and we all knew that. We all thought he should have did more, and now that he's looking back over it, it looks like he thought he should have done more too. He kind of got hoodwinked. That's kind of what he even says in that book. So it's kind of interesting. At least he's owning up to, you know, he's patting himself on the back for 2 pats, and then or maybe 8 or 9, and then he says something that he wishes he would have known. But of course, hindsight's always better than when you're there. And he was a respectable president. So let's do, I don't know, that just doesn't feel right. James Comey again. What are you up to, James Comey? What's going on with this? You should... Who's that other guy that used to be back there, even in Clinton's time, the one that was so hot to... Karl Rove. He almost sounds like Karl Rove. Are they talking to each other on the phone? What in the hell's going on, Mr. Comey? Let's see. Well, that's not upside down. Well, are you wanting... we know you're a bully, more than likely. Got the bully card. We got the walking away. So maybe this is just him right now. Maybe he really does feel like they should walk away from this. Walk away from the bully and just leave him standing there. The influence over this is the Queen of Cups. So I was really sure he was coming from a bad place. It doesn't look like it so far. Yeah, there's something going on. The base of this reading, the foundation, is a thief. So I think he doesn't want anybody to know what some of the stuff that was going on inside the government that might come out if they really do a deep investigation and get you know, somebody like a commission out there to investigate and see what was going on before and during and this insurrection and the election and everything else. His past influences, he was trying to play both sides. We got the 2 of Pentacles here. And I think he did throw that crap out there about Hillary at the last minute to try to confuse and delude people. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. So it's probably his fault. Truth be known, as close as that was, it could have been his little show, both of his little shows, but especially the second one, that ended up getting Trump in there to start with. Well, his star's upside down, and I'm always careful to put these cards in there right. So it's not making too many people happy what he's saying. He may be trying to unify somebody for some reason, but it's not working. He is not the star anymore. And the Republican Party doesn't like him that much anymore, so if that's what he's doing this for, he's wasting his time. But I think that's what he is. I think he's just a die-hard Republican. I think that's why this card is upside down. I think that's why this one's upside down. I think he's just a die-hard Republican. You know? Just still trying to get in the game. And of course he's making money off that book. And he's got somebody around him that's coaxing him out to say this stuff. Maybe he's the favorite women's Republican guy to come talk to the women, Republican women. Who knows? Something's going on here. He's got some kind of women pushing him through this. we got the magician here, so maybe he thinks he can throw a little snow. What am I thinking? Throw a little flack, do something to make this seem when it comes out that it's not real or something. I really feel like he might be onto this, but it doesn't really matter what he's doing, because he's, you know, his cycle has ended in government and to do anything with our government. So I feel like he was probably just more than likely trying to promote his book. You know, somebody say, well, who's that? And then every time you go on, they show your book. And, well, what can I say that's going to get people's attention? Could have been partly that. But it could have been partly, too, Are all these cards upside down, or just those? Just those. So it looks like things have just slowed down for his book, and he was just trying to promote it and bring in more people talking about him. So I think that's what was going on there. I think it was just a play for attention. Let's hope so. Let's hope that the FBI is working good, because God, are we going to need it? We're going to need it working good so bad. Let me grab a different deck for the next reading. And this is Patricia Ray. Bless her. She always makes comments on my channel, and I love it so much. And she's always so intelligent and comes through with a lot of information that I don't get, that she gets, and then I hear it a couple of days later, and I go all over the news media. I don't just watch, you know, corporate news. I watch the BBC. I watch all different ones, but she hears news really quick. So anyway, I wanted to thank you, Patricia, but this was for, she wanted to know why Donald Trump didn't pardon himself or his children. I'm wondering if that's the right question to ask, because I'm wondering if they got some, like Kushner calls it, pocket pardons. But first, I'm just going to pull 3 cards to see, did he pardon them or not? Is there some pardons that are hidden? So we're going to do, well, it looks like something was really sneaky in the past. Well, got the Wheel of Fortune in the present. He either thinks he's got this totally under control and he didn't need them, this is karmic. Maybe karmic that he's a dupka, which I think is dumb shit and something. Maybe German. So we got lies and deceit in the past. In the present, we got karma coming through. Maybe that's saying he should have done it. And let's see what the future is in this. Justice. So I would say whether he's got a pocket pardon or not, that maybe isn't going to do any good, because his whole life is changing because of all the lies and deceit, and justice is coming through. So justice comes through. Probably at least some of his children are going to end up in jail, even if he can get out of it, because he's such a sweet person. I don't even want to use his name. I feel like a lot of the other people, I'm so tired of hearing crap about him. Love that picture about Bernie going viral at the inauguration. That was so cute. They had him on the couch with I don't watch that, but I've seen it on YouTube. They had him on the couch with the girls from Sex and the City in that coat and those mittens. That was so cute. So I didn't want to go on too long because I just wanted to let people know that sent me the emails to please send them back. If you didn't hear back from me already, please, and you still want a reading, it's lynntarotreading@gmail.com, and please send me another one. And I promise you I won't delete them by accident. I was trying to, like to say, to move things around on the computer and hit the wrong button, and they were gone. And so I want to thank everybody that's watching this. I talk about something on my next video that for years and years, and I'm going back 25-30 years, I've had leg cramps at night, or I used to. And then about 10 or 15 years ago, well, here I'm going, might as well go into this. My daughter, who works at Children's Hospital, a lot of her friends that worked there with her, whose mothers were having leg cramps, said to take deodorant, to buy deodorant soap, just regular deodorant soap, unscented, you know, scented like deodorant soap is, like can't remember. I used to just get it at the dollar store, but I made sure it was just their regular, not anything that was fancy. Irish Spring would work, but the other one worked better, or the, can't think. Anyway, sorry about that. But anyway, buy it, and I would stick it in a nylon stocking, a couple of them, and tie it in knots and throw it in my bed. Well, this sounds like witchcraft, but I'm sure it wasn't because the saints seen it in my bed. It was because of some kind of odor that it put out that kept you from getting cramps, because you'd put it in between your sheets, and then about every 6 weeks you'd have to change it out and put a couple of new bars of soap in there, or you'd start getting cramps again. And this worked so good that sometimes, even if I was sitting around watching TV and I started to get them, I'd get a blanket and stick that soap in my lap and tuck the blanket in around me, and it would stop the cramps. So I did that for years on and off, but I got tired of messing with whatever. I'd still have them sometimes, and I'd have to get up in the middle of the night and take some potassium or some more magnesium or something. But one of the ladies that I talked to since I had this channel, she goes by V, and don't want to give any more information than that. But I don't think she'd care if I said she ran some stem cell clinics back east. Back east is a big thing. So I was talking to her about this when I was giving her a reading, and she told me, because she knew I was really into naturopathic stuff. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell anybody to use something, and if you decide to use this, ask your doctor about it first. It may not mix with something you're taking, but I didn't ask my doctor. I just started taking it. And I get this one from Swanson because it's cheaper. And this is only 300 milligrams. She told me to take 600. And the first one I did, I went down to the Sprouts and got the 600 milligrams. And this is so anyway, I went down to Sprouts, got the 600 milligrams, and started taking it. And within 2 days, I quit having leg cramps. And I had been having them for close to 30 years, maybe longer. I mean, so bad that that's one reason I hated to go to bed at night, because I knew I'd be waking up, walking around praying to God, and I didn't have them every night. I try to stay on a keto diet, and I try to stay away from sugar. But if I just had sometimes like one piece of cake or one ice cream or something that had sugar in it, then I would cramp so bad I couldn't stand it. So anyway, she told me to get this, I can't pronounce it right, alpha lipoic acid. And I did, and that's been like 1 year and 2 months. And I think I've got up one time in the middle of the night with Charlie horses, and then it wasn't that bad. It was just I stretched and got a Charlie horse, and as soon as I walked around just a little bit, it went right away. But I don't know what it is. When I told her that this lady that I was talking to, that recommended this, when I told her that it didn't happen. You know, it happened quite often, maybe 5 nights out of 7, but it didn't happen bad where I felt like I was gonna couldn't even walk or move or get around, and it would start in the bottom of my leg and work its way up and all the way into my groin. Anyway, it was a mess. And I told her it was when I ate anything sweet. So she told me to try this, and I did, and it's worked so good. And I know you guys are tired of hearing me mention it, but I'm knocking on the door of 80, and I've always been, the last 25-30 years, really into supplements, anything naturopathic, and there's been so many things I've got that's helped me with problems I've had all my life. And if you guys would like me to start mentioning some of the other stuff on this channel and what I've done, and how nice it would have been had I known about this stuff 40 years ago, what a difference it would have made in my life. If you might be interested in that, please let me know. And anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and I just want to bless y'all and thank y'all, and if you're one of them that sent me the emails, I'm sorry. Anyway, night everybody, and namaste.